All right, here we go. So welcome to episode 2 of the COG Arcade on January 6th, 2013. And I'm John Elliott, and with me today is Kirby Yablonsky.
Hello.
And Jen Dingle.
Hello.
So some of you may notice that we have changed our name to, we tried to go with COGcast, and then we discovered that there's another podcast by the same name that kind of goes for a different audience, and which is, stands for the Church of God of the Abrahamic Faith. Hopefully I pronounced that right. So with some brainstorming, we came up with the COG Arcade, which is kind of video game relevant. I thought it was neat, the kind of the sounds and emotions that the arcade is for me. I'm sure you guys have similar memories of the arcade. And
let's give some kudos to Devin for helping you figure it out that night too.
Yeah, so T-Monkey was my partner in crime coming up with the new name. And
I liked the other one they had. I think there was Jen and the other guys.
Yeah, okay.
I can't repeat some of the other names that they came up with, but
you know, they're a pretty creative group.
Or we could have called it one woman, and two babies.
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah. There was some comparisons to Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place. A lot.
I don't want to know.
Right. It was a great show back in the day. That's how Ryan Reynolds got his start. Anyways, off on a tangent there. But I don't think any of us have been reviewing a whole lot.
Not true. Jen's got something on the go.
Yeah, it'll be ready soon. I'm working on Trine 2 right now. So.
Oh, I remember. I saw you tweeting about that.
Yeah. This is my first time actually playing it. I didn't have the opportunity to play it on PC or 360, so. I'm really, I don't have to compare it to those versions, and I'm really enjoying it. So look for my review soon.
Yay!
I tried it out, the demo, and it looks beautiful, but I just couldn't get into the demo. So maybe if it's on sale or one day I'll actually get to.
I will say it seems to be meant for that gamepad with the touch screen, and I'm not going to go into it much further because I have to write out my review still, but it's too bad my review wasn't out sooner because it's on sale until tomorrow on the Wii U eShop. But I will say that it will be a favorable review. It's good.
I'll have to go check out it on the Wii U then. So you've obviously been using your Wii U. How about you, Kirby?
Not as much as I'd like, but actually I was just fiddling with it this evening. I was looking to see who was around on my friends list, and I was going to start up some more Scribblenauts, but lo and behold, dinner and the podcast took me away from it.
Did any of you guys try out the TV thing, or the TV, or whatever?
The first day it came out, but I
find it a little bit more US-centric than anything for Canada, because when I was trying to find my Rogers package on there, they had only 2 packages, and Rogers has probably 4 different ones.
Yeah, they did that for Shaw as well here on the West Coast. And I found that even once I plugged in stuff, I couldn't really find anything after that. It was...
The favorites function didn't work very well for me. It didn't find any of my shows, and I gotta screw around with it a little more, but I wasn't impressed. My first impression of it was very meh.
It seems neat in concept, but I'll have to see how they develop it. It seems like we got a beta version of their new interface, and that they're going to fix it as they go along.
I'd like to know how well it works in the States. I know, surfing other sites, IGN almost called it the app that makes the Wii U right now. So I don't know if that's indicative of how it works down in the States.
Yeah, I'd love to hear if any of our, I know we're Canadian online gamers, but if we have any listeners in the US, I'd love to hear some feedback. If you're using the Wii U in the States, add us on Twitter or visit the forums, because I'd love to hear your experience with it.
We already have a couple of American friends on the community, so maybe we'll ask them. I forget who they are. Who are they, Kirby? Isn't J-Mac from the States?
Sure.
We have a couple. I'll post something like, hey, who's from the U.S., and we'll figure it out. I know there's a couple guys from the U.S. I personally have been playing an arseload of Forza Horizon. I've probably put at least 15 to 20 hours, and since I've gotten it on, I got it on a Boxing Day sale from Best Buy. I've been wanting it, but I saw it for $40, and I'm like, all right, we're gonna get it, and I've been playing it nonstop ever since. It's just really, really addictive. Every time I see actually a rival of Audi, I got to play it and just try to beat them.
Why you gotta be like that? I mean, really? Why? What did I do?
You and Sam, actually, Creeping Judas.
Yep.
I just want to beat him because he's like, I'm all about racing. So it makes me smile a little bit when I get to beat him because he's supposed to be one of our premier racing guys, right?
Right at you, CJ.
Well, that's what I've been playing. What have you been playing, Kirby?
I've been playing Forza Horizon as well, but I've gotten back into Borderlands 2. I've been playing the downloadable content. And that's really about it. I've found myself kind of addicted to my Windows Phone playing the actual Xbox games that give you achievements. Simple little way to earn some points. So.
Do you have Wordament?
Yep.
Because they released that for iOS now, so I've been playing that a little bit.
Yeah, my wife's addicted to that.
It's free. That's a very interesting note. It's free and it gives you an achievement. It gives you achievements, and you can play it on your iPhone. So, PSA, download it, do it.
PSA, I like that.
And do you guys take any advantage of the Boxing Day game deals or any of the deals at the marketplace?
I did not. For the first time in years, I didn't buy anything.
I picked up Black Ops 2, and that's about it. But I went more movie shopping. I like to add to my collection.
I got a lot.
I bought other cool non-gaming things, but I bought a SodaStream, which I love. I love that thing so much. You probably saw me tweeting about it, but it was like the best thing I've ever bought myself.
You make me so thirsty, like reading.
Oh, I love it. I drink pop. I'm a pop addict, so this probably isn't the best thing for me to own, but it's really cool.
Pop is her kryptonite.
It is. I could drink it for breakfast.
I used to.
Seriously, I do.
I used to be ridiculous in how much Pepsi I used to drink. It's upward of 6 to 8 cans a day. This is how bad. Yeah. And it's probably the reason I have diabetes now, but mainly the reason I have diabetes is because I don't have a pancreas really, but I gave it up. I have it once in a while, maybe if we go to a restaurant as a treat, but like it's really hard, like the caffeine and the sugar rush, so I know where you're coming from.
Just a side note, too, we're talking about reviewing. Trevor, Shad, and Sean have all got reviews on the go for some headsets, some Turtle Beach stuff, and I forget what Trevor's got on the go for a headset. So that's going to actually be good for us because in terms of the content, now we'll have reviews for Triton, we have reviews for Skull Candy, we have reviews for Astro, and we'll have reviews for Turtle Beach.
Very nice. I have a Turtle Beach headset that my kids use more to listen to videos when they're playing games on the computer more than anything.
Well, I hope they're wireless headset reviews because I need some wireless headsets. So
you need some wireless headsets, eh? We can just be able to set you up.
Yep.
Nice.
Anyhow, you guys want to hear what I've been playing?
Sure do.
I kind of went off topic, but I've been kind of in a gaming slump for the past couple months. I don't know, maybe it's because I've been reviewing. I haven't been able to, and I don't want to say I haven't been playing for fun, but I've been playing things that maybe I wouldn't normally play, So, I went back and I finished, what did I finish? Oh, Walking Dead. I finished it on Christmas Eve of all things. Very emotional experience, but I finally finished that. And
were you one of the people who cried?
No, surprisingly not, and I consider myself a crybaby. I didn't cry at the end. So many
stories about grown men saying that
Yeah, and I can see why. It was a very emotional experience. Truly deserving it's not my personal game of the year, but I can see why people would consider it their game of the year choice. Just this week I finished Halo 4 on Legendary. Awesome. So good.
See, I told you.
So good.
I need to go back and beat it on Legendary and play more online, but
repeat after me. I will never doubt Audi again.
Actually, it's probably better to doubt him a lot than be pleasantly surprised. Eh? Eh?
And then I'm finally working I don't want to say I'm a bad gamer, but this is very unlike me, but I have yet to finish Mass Effect 3. So, That's my
That's
new
quite
goal.
the workload.
Mass Effect 3, don't worry about it too much.
Well, I don't know if I mentioned this in the previous podcast, but the first two I finished within a week, but I just haven't felt compelled to finish Mass Effect 3, but finally I sat back down and I got back into the campaign and I'm right back into it. So, likely by our next podcast I'll have completed that and hopefully some more games in my backlog.
I hear you on the backlog. I got a lot. Kingdoms of Amalur, Skyrim, Prototype 2. I got Need for Speed Most Wanted still in the wrapper. I gotta go back and beat some stuff in Assassin's Creed 3, and it's a hard life.
Well, you better do it soon because February is looking pretty
Busy.
pretty busy.
That's when BioShock comes out, right?
Mm-hmm. No. March 26th. I'm sorry.
March
26th. Yep. It was supposed to be February, and then it got pushed back yet again.
Again? Okay. All right. Well, that's what we're up to, and what I plan to talk about in this podcast a little bit is the Game of the Year awards a little bit, and they came up with what I thought were clever names. You guys can tell me if they're not very clever, or we can rename them later on. But let's just get right into it. It's what I call that should have been a book award. It's what we feel is probably our best story-driven games of 2012. And I threw out a couple titles there, and just to start us off, or you guys can pipe in with your own. But I thought, since you're only partway through it, Mass Effect 3 for a great storyline, Assassin's Creed 3, Borderlands 2, The Walking Dead, and Halo 4. You guys think anything else needs to be in there, or does that kind of sum up the great stories of 2012 in gaming?
I can't think of anything off the top of my head, Jen.
No, nor can I.
I'm sure somebody out there is going to be like, you forgot this! But,
how could you forget that?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It always happens. But for me, it's just the story I enjoyed the most, that surprised me the most, was Halo 4. I was expecting just typical Halo, and they just took it to another level with the story. Like I'm still mixed about how I feel about the story overall, but the story, they made a book for it, didn't they, or like at least a prequel for it?
Well, they did. There was actually a trilogy's being written, and there's 2 out of the 3 books are done, and they're supposed to basically bookmark, from my understanding, is from between Halo 3 and Halo 4. So I've read 1 out of the 3, and I'm going to be actually downloading the second one. What about Dishonored? Did that? I know I didn't review it, but any of us play it? That
I can't say because I haven't finished the storyline.
My friend Sean, Zion's we both know him on he does the OMG Hour, just like swears by this game. Like I think it was his game of the year. He just loved it so much, and that the story is just absolutely amazing. That you'll play it one way the first time, then you go in, play it a second way another time, and how he just loves that fact that you can play the game as stealth and you don't have to worry about you can kill bosses per se. There's no real bosses, but boss type characters. You can just kill them by sneaking up on them and stabbing them in the back. It doesn't. He compared it to Deus Ex, where you could stealth until you got to a boss, but then you would have to fight the boss full frontal on. You're saying in Dishonored, you can do that. And story, he calls it for an original IP that the game was perfect coming out of the box. There was no bugs, no quirks in the storyline, or the gameplay mechanics. It was the perfect game coming out of the gate. And I believe they were saying that they are going to make a sequel for Dishonored as well. I'm not sure if that's confirmed or not, but that's what I heard. And for me, that's the game under the radar award. So that's kind of the next category that it came up with. It's a title that fell under your radar, but you discovered it later on, and you're pissed off you didn't play it right away when it came out. And the Dishonored is my title for that, from just based on what Sean has said about it, because it just sounds like an amazing game, a game that I would want to play.
I guess for me it would probably be The Walking Dead. Although I knew about it, I never played it. I just didn't for one reason or another. And the awards that it's taking and the accolades that it has in our community and the reviews that it's been garnering, I'm like, oh, maybe I really should have played it.
I hear about it, but I hear some people complaining about it that it's not really a game. It's more like kind of like a choose your own adventure.
Yeah, I've had this argument before.
But I downloaded the free first episode to try later on, so I can develop some opinion. But I haven't had the opportunity to play it yet. It's a game I probably shouldn't play around the kids, so I have to wait until
certainly not
around to play it. It makes it very hard to play some mature games. My wife and I have some clear-cut rules on what type of mature games I can play around, and there's some that like Halo is okay, but definitely never Call of Duty, Walking Dead, hell no. But yeah, is there a game that fell under your radar this year? Or I should say last year, Jen?
Well, I didn't play it, but I've heard good things about it. Is what's the one, Spec Ops? You know,
Spec Ops by 2K.
Yeah, you know, I know it was on. That's actually one I'm regretting I didn't pick up at Boxing Day, because from those who have played it, they say wonderful things about it. So
I know that's a game that caught me off guard. I actually I reviewed it, and I remember playing till 2-3 in the morning because I consistently wanted to see what was going to happen in the story. So that's a good pick, I think.
Yeah, so that is definitely going in my list of games I want to play this year. So
I'm not sure if it's exactly my genre of a game, but I did hear good things about it.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I'm not. Like, Kirby makes fun of me, but there's not a whole lot of shooters I can actually play. A good chunk of shooters make me sick in the sense that
I get that.
Get nauseous. Gears of War, the whole series. I just look at the game and it's absolutely amazing. But every time I put a controller in my hand to play that game, I feel like I have to go puke.
Really? You know what? I had that problem, and I tried it again over the holidays. Is Max Payne 3. But I think that's because he's drunk quite a bit, and it's those visuals. You know, when it gets fuzzy on screen. I don't know if you guys have played that, but quite often things will get blurry because he's a drunk. So.
Well, the first game that ever did it to me was Doom 64. So it's always been first-person shooters that kind of make me a little bit car sick, as I put it. I used to get car sick a lot as a kid. Like I would actually, in a weird sense, I would have to read a book while driving.
Really?
For a lot of people, when they read a book when driving, it makes them car sick. I had to do the opposite for some reason, just to focus on something. Or I would have to focus on the yellow lines on the road or count telephone poles just to not get motion sick. Or
wow.
If it was a long trip, my parents would just give me Gravol just to get me through it, and I would sleep a good chunk of the trip. But yeah.
Anyhow,
that was a little bit of a tangent. But, moving along, is that a movie? Game for best graphics, and there's some games really, really just like push the envelope this year. You can tell it's the end of the console cycle. So there's big games like Halo 4, Mass Effect 3 once again, Assassin's Creed 3, which, for a lot of problems that the game did have, that the graphics were just amazing.
Fantastic.
And I haven't played it. I've seen videos of it and heard people talk about it. Far Cry 3 as well. It's just supposed to be absolutely amazing. Not necessarily of the characters, but like the background visuals and the scenery. Like that jungle island is just supposed to be absolutely amazing. Like for me, my personal favorite would probably be between Halo 4 and Assassin's Creed 3. Like Halo 4 it's amazing. The partner in crime on the OMG Hour, Jeff there, just said, 343 makes better Halo games than Bungie. And I kind of agree with him a little bit because it just looks better, the story was better, and it's just an amazing improvement. And Assassin's Creed 3 with the new engine, the Anvil engine, it just looks so realistic. Like it's just amazing how.
Yeah, but isn't the Anvil engine kind of hampered by the current generation of technology in terms of the consoles?
I think so. It's kind of I don't know too much about the engine itself. It's that Assassin's Creed 3 had it, and it looks awesome, and a lot of different elements it brought to the game that maybe they just plugged it in there, like, hey, we're going to do this, and we're going to work out the kinks, and it's going to be amazing for the next gen of games they have. Yeah, how do you guys feel about games that brought the graphics to the next level this year, considering that it's near the end of this generation?
Well, if we're talking technology-wise and visuals, not so much the art style, for me, a game is actually Forza Horizon, and the reason being is that engine, it draws 20 to 30 kilometers down the road. And the actual setting of the fictional Colorado is amazing. The day-to-night cycle, seeing the moon all of a sudden show up and actually reflect off your hood, like that game for a driving game really stunned me. And, the actual Horizon Festival that takes place in the game, if you pay close attention when you're driving around, you can see the fireworks way in the distance over the actual festival. So I think they did a phenomenal job with those visuals. And, sure, it's not a shooter or it's not an RPG, it's a driving game, but I know that I was really impressed by them, and, it was very realistic.
I can see, I can agree with you. Like, they are impressive so much that you don't notice.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's just, it is so good. I know it sounds weird that it's so good you just don't notice it's there. It's just realistic. The cars look great and the sceneries look great. I like seeing like the smoke of each of the events that you walk up to. It's like, my wife noticed, oh, that's why they're all the different colors, because it's the events and stuff and things like that. So yeah, I can definitely see your point there. It's really 30 kilometers ahead.
Yeah, it was 20, I think they said 22 kilometers, they said the engine rendered when we were doing what's called a deep dive back at E3. Yeah, they're very proud of the actual visual engine. And if you pay attention really closely as you drive, you look at the distance, not a lot draws in terms of the mountains and the scenery. You'll notice the odd pop-up now and then like with any other game, but I tell you, I was pretty impressed.
I'll have to look at it in a different light. How about you, Jen? What's your...
real quick, I'm actually going to have to go with Assassin's Creed 3 on this one. I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram, but I have a picture on there, and it compares two buildings. It compares a building found in-game in Boston, and then when I actually went and when I was in Boston earlier this year, and it's the same damn building. Just the detail that the team put into recreating Boston, the visuals of the forest and the snow and just absolutely gorgeous. So definitely that is my choice for best graphics for 2012. Just such a gorgeous game, and it's just so the detail put forward into that game is just spectacular.
I remember you posting it on Twitter, and I looked at it, and both my wife and I want to go to Boston. We're just
great city.
Want to go because it just looks amazing. So we have a few destinations we want to go to. Boston's on there. Seattle's another one. It's not
go back
coincidence.
to the Assassin's Creed 3 before you go, and then you'll be shocked at just how it's amazing how much detail they put into it.
I don't know if I want to go back into it, Assassin's Creed 3, because I accidentally, when I was cleaning up my Xbox hard drive one day, deleted my save file.
Eek.
Yeah, that wasn't smart. I'm like, because you know how you can go into the file and delete certain parts? I installed it, so I was just trying to delete the install, but I ended up deleting the whole Assassin's Creed folder. So, yeah, I would have to go through everything again, but, it might be worth it later on down the road for just DLC. But, moving along, what I like to call the game that gave you your bang for your buck. I have 3 picks for it myself, which is Halo 4. Just simply because you got the campaign of Master Chief, you got the campaign of Spartan Ops, and you got all of those multiplayer option and war games. Kingdoms of Amalur, I am 40 to 50 hours into the game, and I don't even know how close I am to the game. There's just so many little side quests. And a personal favorite from last year, Lego Batman 2. There's just a ridiculous amount of time you can put in that game because it's Lego version of Gotham, finding all the extra characters and getting all the vehicles, and just any Lego game you can put a lot of time into, and it's generally $10 cheaper than most new releases, and if you're looking at it on handheld versions, they're usually around $30 a pop too, so it's a great game for kids and grown-ups. How about you guys?
Far Cry 3, no doubt about it. There's so much to offer in that package. I mean, just a single player campaign. Look at how many I've put hours into that thing, and I've barely touched the main mission. I think there's just so much to do on the island with skinning animals, taking over outposts. escort missions, and then not only that, there's also a co-op and a multiplayer suite along with that. So definitely, I'm going with Far Cry 3.
Kirby?
For me, it'd be Borderlands 2.
How did I know you were going to say that?
Yeah.
It's the downloadable content is phenomenal. It's adding anywhere between. I did a run through over the holidays of the first DLC, and we just did the main quest, and that was like a solid 2-3 hours with actual gamers who were already leveled up to 50, and they had uber weapons, and they were willing just to go through and show me it. And so 4 to 5 hours per DLC is amazing, and they're not even done yet. So, and the fact that you can play with your friends online and create your new characters, and yeah, I'm partial. I'm biased. I'm kind of like a book. You can read me.
All right.
Where'd John go?
I don't know.
John.
Hello.
Jen and I will continue this.
This means we can talk bad about him while he's gone.
Oh, that would be awesome. Well, we'll ramble here. We've got a technical difficulty. Let's talk about the Left at the Altar Award that John so elegantly calls it. The game that promised you a once-in-a-lifetime experience, but just didn't show up.
Can you guys hear me now?
Oh, there he is.
All right. I don't.
Damn it.
We're going on without you. We're good. We don't need you.
It's okay. I can still hear you, Jen. I just couldn't talk. Okay, geez, thanks. But yes, as Kirby was saying, Left at the Altar, the game that promised you that once-in-a-lifetime experience. For me, it was Assassin's Creed 3. I love the game, but it's just that ending. I could not get over the ending. It still bugs me now. I can't wait for the next game for them to fix it for me. But as of right now, it's just the ending just pissed me off royally. That's all I can say about it. It's spoiler free.
What about you, Jen?
Left at the Altar. Well, I tell you what my most disappointing game was, and that's Epic Mickey 2.
Oh, and you were so excited for that.
I was really excited. I was really, really excited, but it's just more of the same crap, you know?
Was the camera still as bad? Because I didn't play it.
The camera was still bad. It was, the controls were just absolutely horrible. If not, I dare say, if not worse than the first game. So, boo.
I heard it.
It had so much potential. That's what bugs me, is there's so much potential to fix that. It could have been a great game, but no, my daughter doesn't even want to bother with it. So,
ooh.
Yeah.
Which system did you play it for?
360. And I heard it's even absolutely abysmal on the Wii U. So
wow.
I read that it's a lot better on the PlayStation 3 of all the systems that.
Really? Wow.
Well, I do notice the side topic that some of the companies are making the PS3 their lead SKU. So I know EA started to, and Ubisoft. Some of their games seem to be more geared towards the PS3 in terms of extra content and whatnot. So who knows?
Yeah, Ubi did it with Assassin's Creed, and drove me nuts because I wanted one of the packages that they released for the PS3, and I'm like, I already pre-ordered it for 360. I can't switch it. I'm getting the statue for 360, so yep. So I went with the 360 version because I got the cool Connor statue. So Kirby, what was your game that left you at the altar this year?
I'm a big James Bond fan, and for me it was 007 Legends. That game was horrible. Just horrible. I actually almost threw my controller at my screen after I was finished because it just left you there. We were done. And I know it was waiting for Skyfall to be released at the time, but still, you just left me hanging there. There was no conclusion. And the need for DLC, which was free, but it was just a train wreck. And look what happened. Eurocom, which was the studio who developed it, their doors have been shut. So sad that a studio was shut down because of it, but it was an Activision game. They milked that license as much as they could, and it hurt it in the long run.
Have you both seen Skyfall?
Yep.
Jen?
I have.
No, I haven't.
Okay. It's a slight spoiler, but I thought the name of the movie was pretty dumb, but we won't talk about that. Moving along, it's I love the name of this award. It's the Maple Syrup Award for the best Canadian developed title. had to do a little bit of research for this for me. I know the companies, the developers that make some of the games, but I came up with a short list of Mass Effect 3, which is by BioWare, NHL 13, I believe it's Canadian out of Vancouver, right?
Yep.
I mean, yeah. Trying to remember. Far Cry 3 from Ubisoft Montreal. Prototype 2, I can't remember off the top of my head who.
Radical in Vancouver.
Radical.
They haven't shut their doors, but they're pretty much done.
Yeah.
And Little Big Planet Karting from. They did Mod Nation Racers as well. I'm trying to remember the name.
They also did Sleeping Dogs, United Front Games.
Right. So Sleeping Dogs as well. I may as well throw that in there as well. They're all. I haven't played all of them. I've played a few of them. Mass Effect 3. The demo, at least, for NHL 13. Prototype 2 is on my shelf to play, and Little Big Planet Karting I have played. It's just... Nobody can really take anything away from BioWare. It's a really great title from them, even though I'm a little bit miffed about some of the story. But it's still a great title. The multiplayer... component that they added to the game has so much potential, so I'm kind of looking forward to what they can do in the next trilogy of Mass Effect with some multiplayer. So I know some people hopped into it and it's like, oh, we're not playing it anymore, and it just kind of died off. But I hopped on with some buddies to play it out, and it's really a lot of fun when you get a good group. So yeah, that's my pick. How about you, Kirby?
I'd say for me it would be a tie between Sleeping Dogs and Far Cry. Because Sleeping Dogs, it was in kind of development hell. Activision canceled it. And Square Enix picked it up, and it turned out to be a very, very good game and very challenging in terms of the genre it did. Nobody thought it would come out as well as it did, or there were some doubters at least. And of course, Far Cry 3, I think it speaks for itself. That game is, I think Jen will back this one up, but if not, I'm really off base here. But it's an amazing game.
The more I hear about it, the more I want to play it. But how about you, Jen?
Do it. Far Cry 3.
Why did I think that would be it?
We talked about Far Cry 3, but is it right in saying that it's Skyrim with guns?
Yes. Yep. I don't know if I referred to it as Far Cry 3 in the last podcast, but yeah. I had to put it down, though. I had to attack my backlog, but can't wait to get back to it.
All right. Next category is the Take It To Go category. I know I play a lot of mobile games and handheld games, especially on my iPhone and my 3DS. This game I actually started playing near end of the year because I got a free I went to Starbucks with my wife for date night, and they had a little free code for Rayman Jungle Run. I've heard some good things about it, so I popped it on, and I'm absolutely addicted to the game. It's so simple, but so fun at the same time. It's just a runner, like adventure type game using Rayman. I don't know if you guys played it, but it's a really cute, fun, relatively cheap game. I think it's $3 on the App Store. Another game that I've been playing on Steam and iOS since it first came out at the beginning of January last year is Hero Academy from Robot Entertainment. As if some people don't know, they did Halo Wars and some other games like Age of Empires Online and Orcs Must Die. But it's basically chess with some fantasy characters and Team Fortress, and they're in different teams, and you just use tactics. I compare it to Final Fantasy Tactics, but on against other humans all the time. Then one of my favorite games of last year is Pokemon Black, White 2. And by far my favorite game for the PlayStation Vita is Tales from Space Mutant Blobs Attack. I'm not sure how much you guys play mobile or handheld titles as much as I do, but if I had to pick one for my favorite there, it would probably be Pokemon. I'm probably made fun of a little bit for my love of Pokemon as a 30-year-old man, but it's still great stuff 17 years later. How about you, Jen? You play a lot of mobile games?
I mean, I've reviewed many on the Vita this year, but I think my favorite, I'd have to say probably Little Big Planet Vita. I really enjoyed that. It seems like it was meant for the Vita. It looks just like it did on the consoles. Really, that's a tough one. I don't play too many iOS games, so yeah, I guess I'm going with that one.
Okay, can you? Some people have this argument about Minecraft, and I have the same thing for Little Big Planet. I'm like, what's the deal with it? Why is this game so amazing? I don't see the love, and I've tried them. Like I got the free one on PlayStation 3 for like the whole fiasco they had there, and I'm like, oh, I'm playing it, and I'm like, I just can't get into it. I don't see the love. So what's so amazing?
Well, I like the platforming. Like I like the game part of it. As for the creative aspect for it, I mean, I'm not that great at it, but
I think the game was really meant more for the PS Vita than it was for the PS3. I played a lot of it when I was on a flight to New York, and I found myself wanting to play it. On the PS3, I'm like, meh, I don't want to play it. So.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't use my PS3 a whole lot. It's more for the exclusives and whatever on the occasion I review something for it. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't get a whole lot of use out of it. And it's a great machine. More my Blu-ray player than anything now. But how about you, Kirby? I know you were playing a title recently, mobile. I'm not sure if you played a bit last year, but what's your mobile title of the year?
Well, believe it or not, I was addicted to Star Wars Angry Birds there for a while.
That's great.
And then in terms of the handhelds, I found myself playing my version of Little Big Planet. So I'd have to agree with Jen. That was a pretty enjoyable game.
Yeah.
All right.
But I'll give special mention to Mutant Blob's Attack as well. I too enjoyed that. So.
And that was a Canadian developer, if I'm not mistaken, as well.
Out of Toronto. The name. Somebody help me.
Drinkbox Studios.
That's it.
Yeah. Kirby with the knowledge, right?
For now.
The game has music to your ears. The game that is just has amazing soundtrack. I have Mass Effect 3, Diablo 3, a lot of sequels here, Borderlands 2, Forza Horizon, and Halo 4. Kirby added in. Any other titles you guys think should be in there for music or sound effects? You know, the whole sound package.
No, I'll give you my choices. I liked Halo 4. I really enjoyed the Halo 4. As I was playing it, I kept saying to my co-op partner, I love the soundtrack in Halo. I love the soundtrack in Halo. I've loved them in previous games, and 4 doesn't disappoint.
Buy it on iTunes.
I will. And I have to give, you guys may laugh at my choice here, but I have to give special mention to Lollipop Chainsaw. Only because it took, well-known songs and put it into the soundtrack. So, So, like, there was Skrillex, there was, what's that song?
There's a lot of popular
Skrillex
songs lately.
But there was a lot of popular songs in that soundtrack, and it really made the game, in my opinion. So that's my special mention for best music.
I do have to agree that Halo 4 has an amazing soundtrack. Like a lot of it's original stuff, but I really enjoy playing Forza Horizon and cycling through the radio stations they have in there. This has introduced me to so many new artists, and at the same time, it does have Skrillex as well. And some artists I do know, but if you're looking for a game that's going to teach you some new artists for music, Forza Horizon is great, and it has different genres of music as well. So it's not just techno or dance music. They have a rock station and kind of, I forget the name of the other station, but it's just great new music. And I got special nod to Borderlands 2 as well, because the music for Borderlands 2 just makes that game even more intense when you have these creatures popping out and scaring the crap out of you. And yeah, Borderlands 2, Forza, and Halo 4 are all great soundtracks. But Halo 4 is all original, so you can't knock that. That's just great new composition, where Forza and Borderlands has their own spin on things. How about you, Kirby?
Halo 4.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep, that's it. That's all. Finally, our game of the years. Now, we did an article on CanadianOnlineGamers.com of Picks of the year.
I'm going to say something, too. Remember, we had our choice on the last podcast, too, if you recall. So.
Has anybody changed their mind?
Nope.
Nope.
No? I don't even remember what I said last time. I think I was...
Boo!
I would have to re-listen. I think I said Halo 4.
But if it's your Game of the Year choice, then you...
Well, I flip-flopped on it. Because I think I said Halo 4 to Sean, then I thought about it. I'm like, what game did I sink the most time into? Which game? I literally put 80 hours into Pokemon last year. I'm still playing now. I was playing the other day.
Isn't that what you said on our website as well, though, too, didn't you not?
Yeah. I finally went with Pokemon myself. I changed my mind. That I went with Pokemon just because I'm still playing it now. I can't say that about any other game.
Well, you can't go back on it, so that's what it is.
Fine.
And then just to refresh, if you didn't read the article or you didn't listen to our last podcast, mine was Far Cry 3.
I think, Kirby, you want Borderlands 2?
Rumor has it.
Rumor has it? Right. That's a great song, isn't it? No, I'm kidding. I'm so kidding. I won't start a tangent on Adele. We'll save that for another day. And that's kind of our discussion about our games for the year. Any other gaming tidbits you guys want to talk about? Or any honorable mentions for game that you just want to say that game is awesome and you should play it? We all gamed out.
I think we've covered the gamut.
Sounds good. Just gotta let people know that they need to go to GameCanadian.com, sign up for the community, and if you're a racing fan, sign up for Monday Night Racing. This week is Forza. I don't know what it is for the rest of the month, but it's usually like Forza, Need for Speed right now, and they usually go old school and play some Mario Kart once in a while. But it's hosted by I'm never sure how to pronounce his gamer tag, but Tywaz. It's TYWAZ. You can catch them on the community or give them a shout out on Xbox Live if you're interested in playing that. It's usually 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 Eastern. Play for a couple hours. It's good times. And the other topic that actually started recently on the community that I thought would be interesting to talk about are 3D televisions and going to the movies to see movies in 3D actually worth it. And I know Kirby and I are on different sides of this debate. Where do you fall in, Jen?
Nah.
Yeah?
I could live without. Honestly. 3D gaming makes me sick. That's the motion sickness comes into play with the 3D. Sometimes when I go to the theater to see that as well. So, I could do without. Doesn't matter.
My beef with... not so much the 3D TV. If people want to get it, that's their like Kirby said earlier to me, if they have the money, sure, why not? If they're into it, great. What I hate is going to Cineplex or Galaxy or whatever, Empire, wherever you go, and there'll be a movie like The Avengers, and they're only showing it in 3D.
Yeah.
They'll give you a choice of seeing it in regular 2D, and they charge you $3 extra. That really bugs the crap out of me that they're saying, oh, it's all this great new technology. We have to charge you extra to cover the costs. And I doubt it's even that much more money.
No.
Yeah, that's kind of what they're talking
And usually what ends up happening is it's kind of crappy when you see it in 3D. There's no real difference. You know what I mean? The only movie I felt that truly meant to be seen in 3D was Avatar, obviously.
Yeah, I saw it in 3D even though it made me sick. I just still...
Yeah. But none of the other films that have been out recently, they have been any better in 3D.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Although I kind of wonder why Monsters Inc. 3D is like. Anybody see it?
No, but it's doing well at the box office.
Yeah.
Do you think it's more because it's just Monsters Inc. and then there's Monsters Universe?
That's what bothers me about 3D is when they redo a movie in 3D.
Mm-hmm.
And mind you, Titanic, which was redone in 3D, there was some positive...
it was redone in 3D?
Yep, and they actually said it was done quite well. And it actually added depth and some good effects to some of the scenes. So, but in general, like to do a movie and then release it in 3D after the fact, that drives me nuts.
It's pure money grab, right?
Mm-hmm.
And especially with Monsters University coming out during the summer. Probably playing up on that a little bit. So yeah, get your kids to see this now so they can go see the next movie in 3D and get them hooked, and they'll all want Sully and Mike toys. And it's Disney's really, really smart about it because they know people will pay for that. It's just craziness. I'm looking forward to Disney's Planes. Just on a other random note, I don't know if you guys know about that, but they're basically making kind of a spin-off of Cars, calling it Planes. Yeah.
Nope.
Nope, never heard of it. All right.
Never heard of it.
But it's not done by Pixar. It's actually done by Disney.
Huh. That's an interesting little tidbit to know.
All right.
We said we keep it short for Jen, so we're about.
I'm old. I need my bed.
You're not that much. Isn't Kirby older than you? I'm the youngest.
But I'm on the West Coast, so it's only 7 o'clock here.
I'm a baby. Well, I don't work till 11 in the morning now, so I get to sleep in a little bit till 9.
And just a quick note, as Jen likes to say, a PSA. The community forums will be having their own user-voted best of probably within the next couple of days.
Yeah.
Good old Blizz, user Blizz, is compiling all the votes. And for those who haven't or are on our communities, keep a close eye out for that. We've got a few prizes with that. And you'll see what the community thinks.
Do we know what all the prizes are? I know I'm donating a points card of the winner's choice. I think there was a Game Canadian shirt in there. Was there a Cortana bobblehead?
That's my favorite, the Cortana bobblehead.
I like it. I saw the picture of it. It's pretty nice.
Was there anything else that you recall as prizes?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head.
See? Another reason you should join the Game Canadian community. You can win stuff. But I think that wraps it up. You can follow Game Canadian at Game Canadian on Twitter, search Game Canadian on Facebook, and we all have our Twitters, which is Johnny Zio, Jen Dingle, and Kirby_Y. Is that right?
That's me.
All right. That's it. And definitely going to have music for this bad boy next time and proper artwork. So it's going to be awesome. And
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.